How's it going, folks? From the Champions League to the Europa League. Today there will be many intriguing games, and we are especially interested in your thoughts on the clash between Arsenal and Sporting. Share your predictions in the comments below, hit the like button before watching the video, and let's get the show on the pitch. Bayern Munich have qualified for the Champions League quarterfinal for the 21st time. No other club has reached the tournament's final 8 as often. Despite spells at Chelsea, Inter Milan and Tottenham Hotspur, Antonio Conte has never reached the Champions League quarterfinals since the 2012-2013 campaign. Messi became just the third player to have 150 games started in the Champions League, after Iker Casillas and Cristiano Ronaldo. Paris Saint-Germain got knocked out of the Champions League at the round of 16 stage for the second year in a row. Simone Inzaghi could leave Inter Milan, and Jose Mourinho could quit AS Roma this summer. Thus, both clubs are considering the candidacy of Thomas Tuchel, La Gazzetta dello Sport informs. Eden Hazard could have ended up at the Turkish Super League in the winter transfer window, but he refused this option, journalist Ekrem Konur understands. Bologna head coach Thiago Motta has been named Coach of the Month in Serie A for February, reports the press service of the Italian Championship. AC Milan have progressed to the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time in 11 years. The last time it happened in the 2011-2012 season. Isco offered his services to Real Betis back in the winter, but the club did not want to sign the midfielder. The president of the Green and Whites, Angel Aro, told. Losing to Liverpool is disappointing, but we are still fighting on all fronts and we still have a lot of games to play, Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford stated. We will do all we can to keep Bellingham at BVB for one more season, Borussia Dortmund director Sebastian Kehl admitted. Atletico Madrid have decided to sell left-back Renan Lodi in the summer transfer window. Nottingham Forest, whom the player currently represents on loan, have the option to buy the Brazilian. Mauricio Pochettino is set to take charge of Tottenham Hotspur again if Antonio Conte steps down at the end of the season, according to the Evening Standard. Regarding Erling Haaland, the overall package would have been huge. Sometimes there comes a time when you think you can't keep up. We will not do anything that could endanger the economic stability of the club. L'Equipe reports the words of Bayern CEO Oliver Kahn. PSG must pay their former midfielder Hatem Ben Arfa more than 100 million euros according to the decision of the French Court of Appeal. The club was found guilty of exerting moral harassment on the footballer and having unpaid salaries. Manchester City are just playing really well and are hoping Arsenal will drop points. I think Arsenal will drop points. I hope Man City will win the league because I'm a fan of Man City, Yaya Toure was quoted as saying by TalkSport. RB Leipzig have appointed a new sporting director, Ruven Schroeder, who previously had similar duties at Schalke 04. Bayern Munich have no plans to sign João Cancelo on a permanent deal. The Portuguese will return to Manchester City by the end of his loan, according to Calciomercato. Gabriel Jesus got involved in his first full training session with Arsenal squad since recovering from injury. The Brazilian's last appearance on the pitch was in November 2022. Borussia Mönchengladbach striker Marcus Thuram has been added to Barcelona transfer shortlist. The Catalans will try to recruit the Frenchman for free, as his agreement with the foes expires after the season, Football España writes. Juventus are eyeing Lazio midfielder Sergei Milinkovic-Savic as a future replacement for Adrien Rabiot, unless the Frenchman doesn't renew his contract and becomes a free agent in the summer. David De Gea has managed to impress Erik ten Hag this season, but the Manchester United manager is still leaning towards bringing a new goalkeeper who has better control of the ball at his feet, according to ESPN. Inter have opened contract extension talks with Danilo D'Ambrosio. The Nerazzurri have offered him a deal valid until 2024, but the defender wants to stay at the club until 2025. A PSV fan has been given a 3-month prison sentence for attacking Sevilla goalkeeper Marko Dmitrovic in a Europa League fixture. Real Madrid have joined the race for Benfica forward Gonçalo Ramos. The release clause for the Portuguese is worth 120 million euros. AS Roma are planning to offer defender Chris Smalling a contract extension for another 1 to 2 years, Tuttomercato notifies. I am currently preparing to start a coaching career. Occupying the position of coach will allow me to rediscover this adrenaline and this pressure which accompanies daily training and matches. I cannot live without it, Frank Ribery shared. We lost a lot of games. The Champions League is the last trophy Chelsea can win this season, BT Sport quoted Kai Havertz as saying. Scott Parker has been sacked as head coach of Club Brugge, who won only 2 out of 12 games under his tutelage. Having Victor Osimhen and Rashford in the top at Manchester United will cause any defender panic. I think Osimhen will fit in Manchester United so well, ex-Man United forward Odion Ighalo believes. Let's have a closer look at the results of yesterday's Champions League fixtures. Moving on to the main news of the release. It should be no surprise that the rewind of the Champions League round of 16 matches will open this section. Last night's main event showdown between Bayern Munich and PSG ended in a convincing 2-0 triumph for the Munich side. Accurate shots from Choupo-Moting and Serge Gnabry shattered Parisians' hopes of lifting the most prestigious club trophy at club level this season with 3-0 on aggregate. As for the second game, Spurs didn't figure out how to crack Milan's defense, thus we saw a 0-0 draw. Thanks to a minimal 1-0 victory in the first tie, the Rossoneri successfully progressed to the quarterfinals. PSG President Nasser Al-Khelaifi has initiated an urgent management meeting at which a decision may be made to sack head coach Christophe Galtier due to the team's failure in the Champions League. Sports director Luis Campos can also leave the club. His relationship with the president has reached a critical low point. Journalist Matteo Moretto reports that Al-Khelaifi wants quick changes and will try to bring back Thomas Tuchel. Arsenal head coach Mikel Arteta is among candidates for the position of the new head coach of Real Madrid, informs the insider Thomas Gonzalez, on whom, by the way, Fabrizio Romano is signed on Twitter. We would like to remind you that Los Blancos' current head coach Carlo Ancelotti may face sacking if the team doesn't take a single trophy in the ongoing campaign. If no silverware is brought to the club's trophy room, Real Madrid can turn their attention to Arteta. The Merengues president, Florentino Perez, is pleasantly surprised by the 40-year-old manager's successful work with Arsenal, and the official is willing to offer Mikel a promotion. Meanwhile, Barcelona have identified their top 3 summer transfer targets. The Catalans are negotiating the transfer of Atlético Paranaense forward Vitor Roque, as well as Villarreal and Athletic Bilbao defenders Juan Foyth and Inigo Martinez. Besides, the Blaugrana could try to loan Joan Laporta from Manchester City if the centre-back agrees to a significant salary reduction. Barcelona president Joan Laporta further explained which position should be bolstered within the squad before the start of the next season. Barça will surely have to sign a winger and also a central defender, as long as in this case there is some good opportunity. Surely a striker will come, but someone will have to come out. As usual, the announcement of a new striker already brings excitement to Barça supporters, as over the past year, the club has been most often linked to the re-signing of Lionel Messi. PSG's yesterday's exit from the Champions League could push the Argentine even harder to the grand return to Camp Nou. Manchester City are strengthening their position for RB Leipzig defender Joško Gvardiol. As for this moment, they are leading the race for the Croatian signature, ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool. The Daily Mail writes about the matter. 21-year-old Gvardiol was close to joining Chelsea last summer, but talks for the contract eventually stalled. Since then, the pensioners have spent around £140 million on centre-backs and are now unlikely to renew their interest in the player. The Sky Blues are plotting to take advantage of this fact and boost their defensive line with another big transfer move. Today, the Transfermarkt portal values Joško at €75 million. Guys, we have launched a project which dwells upon 10-minute recaps of movies and series. A very convenient format, to say the least. Here is a recap of a mega interesting film with the incomparable Keira Knightley. If you are a fan of movies, then you should definitely check it out. Click on the link and give it a try. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye!